Hey there, Postal here. So today we're going to look at the P.203 and see why I believe it's one of the best planes that you can be in for this particular Red Comet game mode. Let's take a look. Alright, so what is this plane? This was a premium, you could win this particular plane a few months ago. I forget the exact event. And a lot of people compared it to the XP58 at the time, but there's some significant differences, right? First and foremost, you have two 30mm guns that have great firing range, 3,100 feet, which is about 800 feet longer or larger than the 37s that you get on the XP58. You also get some 15s and 13s, which don't ever overheat, and so you've got that variability that you might need if you're trying to just knock off the last couple hit points of a plane that's coming in. And then you've got a pretty mediocre tail gunner. 13mm tail gunner is significantly worse than the XP58. Really, you're just kind of using this as a discourager, where on the XP58 you can kind of ignore your tail gunner and he'll usually do significant damage. This one you really need to use it manually to get the most out of it. The other big difference you're going to notice is obviously there's some jets, and this, although the Chain Lightning XP58 is no slouch when it comes to acceleration and the ability to get up high, this plane can really just kind of go straight up if you need it to, and if you've got the boost available. And last but not least, this plane is terrible maneuverability. You're going to notice the turn time is 14.9 seconds. It's not the worst, but it's pretty darn bad, right? So you really are kind of flying in straight lines very often with this particular plane, hitting what you can and continuing on. But in this game mode, you don't have bombs. Well, you don't. Let me repeat that. You don't have bombs or missiles on this particular heavy fighter, and so in this game mode, you're able to just focus on taking down those airplanes that are up there, taking down bombers, taking down the ground attack planes, taking down whatever needs to be taken down. You don't have to worry about, oh, do I need to drop my bombs or my rockets? You can just focus on that. So I had a pretty good game. I had quite a few good games in it, but during this game mode, and I wanted to show you the one I felt was the best one. It started off really rough, as you're going to see, but changed my mentality and really pulled the game out. So hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so what is the P.203? Well, obviously it's a Tier 8 premium German heavy fighter. No bombs, no rockets. So it does really allow you to focus on just killing what's flying around. And so for this particular game mode, it's actually quite a strong plane. And we're going to see some issues in this particular match. It actually started off pretty rough. So I really like this plane. It has the ability to get very high up and very quickly. And you can see there's some sort of connection issue or something. The plane's wiggling around. Yeah, so I'm heading up high here, and I'm trying to use my guns to knock off the bomber. This armament is really good at taking out high hit point planes. And I really like how it's set up. You've got two at long range, and the rest are kind of at short range, right? You've got guns that do overheat, and you've got two that don't really. So if you need to kill something, and it's on low hit points, you've got those little machine guns that can do that. So one thing that you have to do in this plane is really keep its momentum. The maneuverability is absolutely terrible. And so that's why I kind of got away from that multi-roll. But you can see I'm not holding down the right mouse button. I'm actually trying to turn that way. I got pretty frustrated at this point. You're trying to do what needs to be done. I was going to be going for the ground pounder or whatever the heck was over there. And yeah. So for about the next minute or so, I'm pretty frustrated in game. I'm like, really? what's the point of loading into a game that's going to kick me out? I wasn't sure if it was my own internet. It's like 4 p.m. in the afternoon Eastern time, so maybe it's just a lot of people online, or if it's a game thing, or if, it's my computer. Although I don't really think it's my computer. So now I'm going over here and I couldn't even get that kill, so I'm just like, whatever. Nah. So I just figure we've lost the garrison in the center, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm probably going to struggle this whole game, probably going to get disconnected or something like that. And so I'm just kind of meandering around. I do see this FW-190, and those are one of the more dangerous planes, especially to my VVP here. Because I've got such poor maneuverability and the FW has such good guns, it can really kill you. So I missed like almost 30s on that, and it was at this point where I told myself I need to get my act together. It doesn't seem like the game's going to kick me out. Seems smooth now, and this plane really lives and dies by its speed and its 30s. So I want to make sure I'm hitting. You'll notice I do very little turn engagement with any of the planes. What's very funny about this plane, even though it has pretty poor rear turret, I use that rear turret a lot. I'm going in a relatively straight line, so it's not like I have to focus on dodging anything or dogfighting anything. B, I don't want those planes to get in behind me, and just peppering them a little bit, doing 15 damage, tends to discourage them from even getting behind you. And if I can discourage them from even getting behind me, then I'm going to survive a lot longer, as you're going to see in this game. So right now I'm just looking for areas of opportunity. Got that bomber just a minute ago, going for the ground pounder now, and you just have to be aware of your surroundings. Because I don't have the ability to outmaneuver something that might be coming for me, I've got to use my speed. One-on-one engagements are a little different, but that's true of any plane. And right now I'm basically making it one-on-one engagements throughout. So I mentioned about this plane, I'm proving it right now. I just went from ground level to what I'm going to be at 8,000 feet in a couple seconds here, all because I had the boost and those 30 mils just tore apart that bomber. So we're looking around, I'm looking at the map. I see the garrison and the military base, whatever it's called, are pretty high on capture points, so I'm not worried about them getting flipped, but I am a little worried about the air base. So let's head on over there and see what we can do about it. So again, I'm just paying attention to the flight patterns of the planes that are around me and seeing what I can pick off, what will be at the best angle for me, and I don't typically stick with them. And pepper, 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 pepper. And keeping my momentum. I'm not aiming for kills, right? At this point, I'm just aiming to have a positive impact, and I'll let my friendlies get the kills if that's it. If not, I'm keeping my momentum and I'll turn around and then I'll get the kill. But with a plane like this, you can't be worried about always getting the kill. Flip to the tail gunner, stay away from the I-250. An I-250 could be a real pain in the butt, right? But those 13 mils will discourage. They won't kill him. If he really wanted to, he could probably actually get me. But if he did turn around on me, I'd keep those 13s on him and make him earn it, if he got it at all. So we're just keeping our speed as high as we can. If we can be above 400 miles an hour all the time, we're going to be happy campers. Turning around to get this Hornet. I know there's another plane above me, but I feel comfortable with the speed I've got, and I want to get rid of this Hornet. Alright, so we've got that light fighter. It's the same guy that was behind us before. I was hoping somebody else would get him, but we've got great distance between him, and we should be able to continue to weaken him, continue to keep him, off his game, so to speak. Alright, so off the tail gunner. Who's in front of us again? Oh man, those guns. So I mean, the tactic is something that is used a lot with ground pounders, right? You kind of fly through, drag them with you, and hit them with your tail gunner. Difference is most ground pounders have decent tail gunners. This one doesn't really, but you've got more speed with this particular plane, and so able to just kind of flip over, take advantage of those planes that don't have the same energy, and completely knock them off. So I'm not worried about that British multi-roll because it's not focused on me. Oh, until he is. And so at this point I'm using some of that altitude performance and speed to kind of get up, and I know I can't get away from both these multi-rolls. I didn't have enough speed, so now I'm heading down so I can get that speed. Not focusing on my tail gunner because I want to knock out this Hornet, and kind of doing two birds with one stone. Focus on the Hornet and get away from those multi-rolls. Kind of overheated my guns a little bit, but you know, my mission really was to survive, and I've done that by getting away from those multi-rolls. At this point, there's no point in trying to chase him. I'll lose too much energy. I know there's a mountain in front of me, but I'm gonna pepper this 190, and as long as I get out of that tail gun quick enough, I'll be fine. So let's focus him down. Again, I might not be able to kill him, but a friendly can. Now we've got this light fighter here. I know there's a multi-roll up beyond him, so I'm gonna go for that. I wasn't paying attention to the multi-roll behind him. As I turn around on this light fighter, I mean, on my arrows, there is a multi-roll there. And so I really want to make sure I'm trying to get that. But I lose tracking of him. So this is my big mistake. As I'm coming in on this I-250, there's now an FW-190 behind me. And I don't have any energy. I'm at 320 miles an hour. If I had my energy, I could get away from him. I'm trying to just dive straight up. Dive is the opposite of what I'm doing. But and it shows you how strong an FW-190D can be. So big mistake on my part. Pretty frustrated with myself, but I think we put ourselves in a good position to actually win. It wouldn't be the first time I've seen a battle that had one or two planes actually pull it out. But luckily they're both bots, so I'm breathing pretty easy. Let's see how it goes. But I really do like the P.203. Again, you just have to be mindful of what's going on around you, because with your speed, you've got to be able to utilize that. And if you've got planes that have high speed, like a 262 or something like that, you have to be aware of those at all times. I had to come down as far as altitude was concerned quite a bit, just because that's where the battle was. But if you've got your speed going with you and you're paying attention to what's going on around you, you'll be fine. Just keep yourself out of those hornets' nests. Alright. Should be getting to the end here soon. It's down to one plane, only 16 seconds. And hopefully he'll be dead soon. And he's dead now. So this plane's really well built for this mode. Because you don't have to worry about bombs or rockets, you can just take a step and, focus all your energy on knocking out airplanes. And I was able to get over 300,000 silver with it. Get that McCampbell's, which obviously means it was after that initial crash. It had a pretty good impact. So I really do enjoy this plane. Hopefully Wargaming will allow it to be available at a later time. Because I just have fun with it and I recommend it. I'm not sure I can recommend it to actually buy. Still not sure if it's necessarily worth $50, but it is an absolute blast to play, and I think a lot of other people would enjoy it too. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great day.